and it looked like Shedeur Sanders is definitely stuck in Cleveland. As the hours wind down, the NFL trade line is about to...
The Cleveland Browns have officially entered panic mode after reports surfaced that the New Orleans Saints have offered a staggering $21 million trade package for rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders. What began as speculation quickly turned into a full-blown media storm when insiders confirmed that the Saints front office has made a serious inquiry into Shedeur's availability. A move that not only blindsided Cleveland but also sent shockwaves through the entire NFL. For a player who hasn't even been given the chance to start yet, a $21 million offer speaks volumes. It tells the league that teams outside Cleveland see what many inside already know. Shedeur Sanders is that talented, and the Browns are wasting his potential. But behind this trade proposal lies a much deeper story. One that exposes Cleveland's dysfunction, internal politics, and the growing rift between coaches, ownership, and players.
I think that can help inject some life into the team as well now that has passed, and this is the team going forward, and they can all focus.
Yeah, I understand the question, Daryl. I don't know how much guys spend time thinking about those type of things. I know it's speculative, and I know there's plenty of news outlets that cover those type of things, and that's what you have to do, but our guys don't spend much time on that. We kind of keep our focus where it is, and so that's the sense I've gotten.
The timing couldn't be worse for the Browns. The organization is still reeling from the viral sideline confrontation between Shadur and Dillon Gabriel, which painted a clear picture of tension and frustration. That clip didn't just go viral for the drama, it went viral because fans could see the imbalance in real time. A composed, confident Shadur calling out inefficiency, while leadership sat on its hands and did nothing. Ever since that moment, whispers about front office instability have only grown louder, and now, with New Orleans making an aggressive push, those whispers have turned into alarm bells. According to league insiders, the Saints' offer includes cash incentives, draft picks, and cap adjustments that would make Shedeur's rookie contract one of the most lucrative transitions in modern history. For context, this kind of trade usually doesn't happen for unproven quarterbacks. It happens when teams smell a generational player trapped in the wrong environment. What's driving this sudden push from the Saints? Simple, desperation and foresight. With questions surrounding their own quarterback rotation, New Orleans sees Shadur as the perfect long-term answer. Their front office reportedly sees parallels between Shedur's composure and early career legends like Russell Wilson and Patrick Mahomes.
Look, I get everybody wants to see Shadur. Based on what? What football coach makes this? Let's see what we got. Let's throw him out there and see what's the worst thing could happen.
Could it be you've seen enough of Dillon? I guess is that what you're trying to ask, G? Like,
yeah,
we've seen enough of one.
They might be having that conversation every day, and then having the conversation, what's our other?
But the key factor isn't just Shedur's talent. It's the fact that his current franchise seems incapable of unlocking it. As one insider bluntly put it, Cleveland has gold sitting on the bench and doesn't even know it. That statement alone encapsulates why this story has taken over the sports world. The Browns, who built their season around discipline and culture, now look like a team with neither. And the Saints' $21 million play just exposed how fragile their foundation really is. As the story spread, panic reportedly erupted inside the Browns organization. Within hours of the offer being leaked, ownership and management held an emergency meeting to address the rumors. Sources close to the team say the atmosphere was tense, with top executives divided over how to respond. Some argued that trading Shadur would end the constant drama and restore locker room focus, while others warned it would be the biggest mistake in franchise history. The divide goes deeper than just business, it's personal. Offensive coordinator Tommy Rees, who's been Shedur's biggest advocate since camp, reportedly clashed with head coach Kevin Stefanski during that same meeting. Rees argued that the Saints' offer should serve as a wake-up call, proof that the league recognizes what Cleveland refuses to admit, that Shadur is a franchise-caliber quarterback being wasted on the sidelines. Stefanski, however, pushed back, saying that the team can't react to social media noise. But this isn't just about social media anymore. The story has dominated ESPN, Fox Sports, and every major sports outlet. Analysts are calling the Browns' handling of Shadur one of the most baffling coaching decisions in recent memory. Fans are livid. Hashtags like #FreeShadur and #ClevelandCollapse have been trending for 2 days straight. Even rival players are weighing in. One anonymous NFC quarterback told reporters, "If the Saints get him, the league's in trouble." That comment alone shows how much respect Shadur has earned without even being a starter yet. What's even more interesting is the role of Deion Sanders in all this. While he hasn't commented publicly, insiders claim he's been monitoring the situation closely and is reportedly unhappy with how Cleveland has treated his son. Some even speculate that Deion has quietly approved the idea of Shadur moving to a more stable franchise if it means a healthier football environment. The Saints, for their part, are playing this perfectly. Their front office is reportedly being patient, calculating, and careful not to turn this into an open bidding war, yet. They've positioned their offer as an opportunity for both sides, suggesting it could be a clean transition that benefits everyone involved. But make no mistake, New Orleans smells blood in the water. They know Cleveland is unstable right now. The coaching staff is divided, the locker room is losing faith, and the fan base is restless. That's why this $21 million proposal hit so hard. It didn't just challenge the Browns financially, it challenged their identity. For a franchise that spent years trying to shake its reputation as a dysfunctional operation, this is a nightmare scenario. The tension isn't just external, it's tearing the Browns apart from within. Multiple sources have revealed that Shedur's teammates are rallying around him privately, expressing frustration that their best offensive option is still being kept off the field. One veteran reportedly told a local reporter, "It feels like we're fighting our own coaches, not the other team." That quote sums up everything that's wrong in Cleveland right now. Instead of unity, there's division. Instead of leadership, there's confusion. And instead of progress, there's ego. The $21 million offer from New Orleans didn't create this problem, it exposed it. Players and analysts alike are saying what many have been thinking all along, that Shedur's benching isn't about readiness or skill, but about control. Inside the locker room, the mood is reportedly volatile. Offensive meetings have turned tense, with Reese and Stefanski barely speaking to one another except through intermediaries. Some players have even joked that the team has two head coaches, one running plays and one running politics. This internal dysfunction is now threatening to derail the entire season. Reports say that several players are considering trade requests if the leadership situation doesn't change soon, and the front office knows it. The ownership group, led by Jimmy Haslam, is reportedly weighing drastic options, including the possibility of reshuffling coaching duties mid-season to stabilize the locker room. One source described the situation as imploding from the inside out, and that might not be an exaggeration. Meanwhile, New Orleans continues to play the long game. The Saints management has been in quiet contact with Shedur's representatives, making it clear that their interest is genuine. They're offering more than money. They're offering respect, development, and opportunity. In the Saints system, Shadur wouldn't be buried under layers of politics. He'd be given real reps, a tailored playbook, and a chance to lead. That's why this offer has sent panic waves through Cleveland, because everyone knows deep down that if Shadur leaves, he'll thrive elsewhere. And once he does, it'll confirm what many fans have feared all along, that the Browns are their own worst enemy. The pressure on Stefanski has reached its breaking point. Fans are chanting for his firing at games, and local media outlets are openly questioning whether he's lost control. It's become clear that this situation is no longer sustainable. Either the Browns start treating Shedeur Sanders like the future of their franchise, or they risk losing him, and with him, the trust of their entire fan base. Now the Browns stand at a crossroads. Do they double down on pride and risk watching Shedeur Sanders walk out the door for $21 million? Or do they swallow their egos and build the future around him? The choice seems obvious to fans, but for the organization, it's tangled in politics, hierarchy, and image management. According to multiple insiders, ownership has issued an internal directive. Every executive and coach must prepare a statement on how the team plans to move forward cohesively. That sounds like PR language, but what it really means is damage control. The Browns know they're losing the public narrative fast, and once fans turn completely, it's nearly impossible to win them back. The irony is that Shadur himself has handled all this chaos with remarkable composure. Despite the noise, he's stayed focused on practice, continued studying game tape, and avoided feeding into the controversy. That calmness has impressed veterans and caught the attention of the media. Even in the middle of a scandal, Shadur looks like the most stable figure in the entire organization. For a player his age, that's rare. It's also exactly why teams like New Orleans are so eager to get him. They don't just see talent, they see leadership, and that's something you can't fake. If Cleveland decides to reject the Saints' offer, they'll have to face the consequences of their decision, because now the entire league knows Shedur's value, and so does he. Other teams are already monitoring the situation closely, waiting for cracks to widen or negotiations to stall. Once a player reaches this level of public leverage, it's hard to put the genie back in the bottle. Whether the Browns admit it or not, Shedeur Sanders has become the centerpiece of their future, and any attempt to downplay that will only make them look more foolish. The coming weeks could define the Browns' entire season, maybe even their next decade. If they mishandle this situation, they risk losing not just a quarterback, but the locker room, the fan base, and their credibility. On the other hand, if they take a step back, acknowledge their mistakes, and give Shadur the reins, they could finally rewrite their story. But that requires humility, something Cleveland hasn't shown much of lately. In the aftermath of the Saints' shocking $21 million offer, the entire NFL landscape has shifted, and Cleveland finds itself standing on thin ice. The pressure from fans, players, and the media has reached a boiling point, and now, every move the Browns make is under a microscope. League insiders say the front office is in full crisis mode, holding late-night strategy meetings to figure out how to keep Shedeur Sanders happy without exposing their internal dysfunction. But according to multiple reports, it might already be too late. Shedeur's camp is said to be evaluating all options, including a potential move if the right deal comes together. What's even more damning for Cleveland is that the Saints aren't the only team circling. 3 other franchises, including one AFC contender, have reportedly expressed interest in acquiring Shadur before the trade window closes. That kind of demand doesn't just happen by accident, it's a reflection of how highly valued Shadur has become, even while sitting on the bench. The Browns' biggest issue isn't talent, it's trust, and right now there's none left to spare. Reports indicate that Tommy Rees has started distancing himself from Stefanski's leadership entirely, with several players quietly siding with him in what's now being called the Rees faction. This unofficial divide has created chaos inside team operations. Practices are tense, communication between units is breaking down, and morale has hit rock bottom. One insider described the atmosphere as survival mode, where everyone's just trying to protect their own reputation before the inevitable fallout. In a moment that should have been about development and unity, the Browns have instead become the league's biggest cautionary tale. Meanwhile, New Orleans is doubling down. Sources close to the Saints front office say their offer isn't just financial. It includes guarantees around player development, staff collaboration, and endorsement opportunities that would position Shadur as one of the most marketable young stars in the NFL. They're not just selling him on the money, they're selling him on a future. That's what separates the Saints from Cleveland right now. Vision. Where the Browns see a controversy, the Saints see potential. Where Cleveland is arguing about control, New Orleans is planning championships. If the trade happens, it won't just be a shift in rosters. It'll be a symbolic moment that exposes how poor management can destroy even the brightest opportunities. The ripple effect of this saga is already spreading beyond Cleveland. NFL analysts are calling it a wake-up call for every franchise that thinks they can suppress young talent with outdated hierarchies. The league is changing fast. Players like Shedeur Sanders aren't just athletes, they're brands, leaders, and cultural forces. The old model of wait your turn doesn't work anymore when fans, sponsors, and other teams all see what a player is capable of. If Cleveland loses Shadur, it won't just lose a player, it'll lose credibility across the league. No top prospect will trust the Browns system again. And for an organization still trying to shake its reputation as one of the NFL's most unstable franchises, that could be a death sentence. Still, there's a sliver of hope. Some insiders claim ownership is considering a complete reset, sidelining Stefanski, promoting Rees, and reworking the offense around Shadur before the season completely collapses. It's a bold move, but it might be the only way to salvage both the locker room and their young quarterback's trust. Because if they don't act soon, the Saints' $21 million offer might be the final nail in Cleveland's coffin. One thing's clear. This saga isn't just about football anymore. It's about power, pride, and the politics that can make or break a career. And in the middle of it all, Shedeur Sanders stands as the symbol of what happens when raw talent meets broken leadership. Whether he stays or goes, his next move will define the future of 2 franchises and possibly rewrite the narrative of the modern NFL. For more insider updates, exclusive breakdowns, and real stories the mainstream sports media won't touch, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Field Talks, your home for the rawest NFL analysis and breaking developments delivered with no filter.